Well, Hytale is here. I mean, it's been out for about a month now, but I've always been a bit slow. Anyhow, I wanted to try and do some map making in Hytale. Just to explore its tools and features, and to make sure I actually finish this project, I decided it's best to set a time limit for myself. So I gave myself 24 hours to work on this, starting with zero knowledge on how the game actually works. I'm here in Hytale, and all I've done so far is make a character. And it's time to make a world and then start the timer from there. So let's do this. I'm gonna name it 24-hour challenge. I think that's the most fitting thing. And then let's see what we have. I should have already updated some of the settings and stuff. I had like a very quick look. So I know there's gonna be a super flat world here, and then we have some other worlds over here. So we're just gonna go with super flat for now, and then we'll go from there. So I am starting the timer. And I'm just gonna try some stuff out, so I'll catch you guys later again once I know a bit more. I'm just gonna play around a bit. So playing around is exactly what I did. I tried some simple building, just checking out the inventory, then I moved to testing the creative tools. It feels like a combination of Axiom and World Edit, but in my current opinion Axiom does feel way better. I'll explain why later. I tried to create a bit of a forest scene with the built-in tools to possibly make some sort of small story-driven adventure map. Yet I was really not happy with the speed of the terrain editing tools, forcing me to scrap that idea. Alright, so I've been testing the terrain tools for about an hour now. Honestly, it's not super great. It seems very limited, it doesn't seem very fast. So yeah, I'm gonna move over to try and test some of the other tools that are in the game for making like actual custom maps and things like that. And I'll see how that goes, and then probably reset from there and see what I can actually create, because right now I'm not feeling very inspired yet. So there is some cool stuff though. You have like a forest burst as well, so you can create trees and things like that, rubble, whatever, but it's nothing to gawk at basically. I started looking at some other stuff available in Hytale creative mode, but other than taking up modding, I was not able to find anything that could really do what I wanted. I could have tried to do some modding, but I doubted that I would be able to do so in that 24-hour limit. So I went on to make a pretty tough decision. I think I've made my decision. I can't really find anything that allows me to use something like redstone or something similar to that kind of effect. What I did find is that you have like assets editor, so you can change the functionality of certain blocks, it seems like, but I have not been able to really find a good way to make certain blocks interact with each other or update or do stuff like that. So to keep things realistic, I think I'm gonna work on something parkour related. It's like my fallback thing I had in mind, and I think there's some pretty interesting ways to make that cool or unique or interesting. And then yeah, you have spikes and other things to damage the player, stuff like that. The only issue so far I've had is that when you are in survival, adventure, whatever you want to call it, you will still be able to break stuff. And I'm not sure if there's a mode where that doesn't happen. So I need to figure that out during this. And I'll go and try and make a parkour map. I think that's the only real option I have. So I've been building for a bit now, and I kind of made the first part of what could be a level. It's very simple still. It's like one jump basically. You can jump it from a few different places. So one thing that's very important to know within Hytale is defaulting functionality. You can vault up to 4 blocks, and you can jump up to 2 blocks as well. And then also the distance of jumping is also pretty far, and I think you can also change momentum mid-air pretty well still. So I think doing like a Neo should be relatively easy as well. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. I think I'm gonna go a lot more horizontal from now on, and I think I'm just gonna try and make it like deeper and deeper into a cave. I love the little bit of decorations though. Hytale definitely offers a lot of possibility when it comes to decor, although you can't place them on these bridge thingies. There's some weird limitations within Hytale where I'm like, why not? It is what it is. We'll work with it, we'll deal with it. I'll make this look a little bit nicer still, and then I'll move on to the next little area. So I added another little piece in here with just a couple of I wanted to say simple jumps, but then I fell. With just a couple of pretty simple jumps, I say. I really start liking the feel of the game. It's definitely a vibe. I am gonna try and decorate this a bit more still, but I want to actually start focusing more on just laying out the level. Do a bit more level design, right? Like create a bit more of an actual beginning, middle, end kind of situation. And then from there on, I'll start detailing more and more. just to make sure I don't run out of time because I'm too busy detailing stuff, right? After this, I really started getting into the building. I do honestly think the game looks stunning and has a massive amount of potential. It's an absolute vibe. Without comparing it to Minecraft constantly, I do believe it has Minecraft beat on that front. Which, for someone like me, is great because I love working on making stuff feel pretty and cool. I also got more used to the terrain editing tools, purely by guessing everything based on my years of world edit experience. And this is my current verdict. It's honestly not ideal and lacking in a few areas. It feels mostly like World Edit back in 2014, but it still lacks some of the tools that help you create nice looking terrain and shapes. The selection tools are more like Axiom, but they lack the mobility and speed that Axiom actually gives you. In my honest opinion, they should move away from working with chat commands as much as possible and create a more robust system that works with just the tools and menus. This would also be the most noob friendly setup. I'd love to talk about this for much longer, but I don't want to bore you guys too much. However, if for some insane reason Simon sees this video, I'd be happy to give you all my suggestions in excessive detail. So we're about 7 hours in, and I've been working on the area down here. I left these in for now because they apparently have an interesting interaction where you can actually bounce on them. I accidentally figured this out when I was trying to design this area. So that is very cool, and I'll definitely be using it, but I won't be using it here. I still need to decorate this a bit more, but yeah, still working on that. Now here we have a bit of lava parkour. As you can see also here, like the walls and the roof need some decorating and stuff. We got a bit of actual fault here where you nobody saw that. We got a fork in the road over here, so there's two ways you can go. You can either go that direction or you can go this direction. This one has a nice kind of neo jump, right, where you have to kind of round the corner. The other side, you jump the gap here and then you get into the new area that I'm working on. Yeah, that's kind of what the map is looking like right now. There's still a lot of detailing to be done in some of these, or at least in this in-between section. Something interesting I noticed, there is a little bit of like light seepage that can happen. So I need to go around the map by the end and just make sure none of that is happening anymore. This will eventually go back into this, or like skip this room, do like another room, and then they connect up again. I want to continue building till I have like between 6 or 4 hours left, because after that I want to work on trying to get some mechanics in place, like checkpoints, stuff like that. I have no idea if it's possible, but I kind of need to try. I've been doing a fair bit of additional stuff. I added this entire room featuring rope parkour. So you can basically jump around ropes and stuff. And then you can kind of go from one side to the other. You don't go too far. It's pretty tricky, but yeah, you'll end up here. And then from here you get into here. And I know I said I wasn't gonna focus on detailing too much, but yeah, I couldn't help myself. I added beds to places for now as kind of like checkpoints. And I also set the world spawn to be this location. I did make a slight update here where I made this jump a fair bit harder. And here I brought in the mushrooms, so we have our bouncy mushroom parkour. They are not always consistent. They are a bit tricky because sometimes if you just hit the edge, you do not bounce. This is where the other thing leads to. So there is another checkpoint here, but there is not one here. So if you're doing this and you were to die before either reaching this and checking this, you have to go all the way back to the start of the lava area, right? So that's why this is like the safer option. And this is like the harder option, but if you do it, it's definitely faster. Then from here, you get up here. You get to do another thing here. And then I've been working on this, which is just like creative mess of ladders and jumps you can do. You can fault on ladders, by the way. It's a little bit weird, but hey, it works. And then you get over here, which is the next area I'm working on. This is going to be the final area I think I'm going to design, because I think I'm going to make it very white, where you have to cross like a big ravine or something that leads to the end of the parkour area, or just the level. Because from there on out I need to do a lot of more detailing. I need to clean up some areas. I would like to add some lore bits and pieces as well if possible. And of course, like I said before, I would like to find out other ways maybe to set checkpoints or maybe do some other cool stuff. I was finally feeling confident enough to work on a bigger area, and I really wanted to make something big and stunning for you guys that could really show you what Hytale can feel like. So that's exactly what I tried to do. Also because I need a good looking thumbnail. Now, I do want to mention, I know that I could have done more with Hytale if I picked up modding. So for those of you who are a little disappointed, if this video managed to hit, I don't know, like 1k likes in the first week, I promise a new Hytale video will happen within the next 2 months. This time I'll be sure to learn how to mod the game. I might still do this without the like goal being hit, but this makes it a certified guarantee. Also, this video is a bit of a new edit style for me, so I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, and any of your suggestions are of course welcome. So it's been a while. I think I got a little bit carried away. The final area ended up being a bit more work and bigger than I would have expected. I did do most of the decorating, however, so it is looking quite nice. Still need to do the floor on this backside. I have a little less than 4 hours left. Still need to decorate this entire tunnel. Still have to do some decorating in here, but I'm gonna keep this one pretty simple other than what I've done so far. This is basically done, I'd say. There's some decorating still to be done in this area. Yeah, and I think that's decoration-wise basically it. Other than that, I want to put on some signs or like story elements, but I need to look into how to do that. Yeah, that's about it. It's coming together nicely. The final area I think is quite cool in the look and feel. I need to look at what I can still do with decoration here and definitely on the backside here. What I really like about this area is that there's like a lot of different routes you can take. You can start that way, you can start this way, go up here, go here. From here you can either go left still downwards to there, or you go out across there. You have like this in between where you can either go that way or you can come from this area and go that way. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on. You even have here like there's like a little shortcut where you can either go in here or you can go like left side around, but that's just a harder jump to do. In case people want to, you know, actually speed run the map or try to do it like as fast as possible. All right, anyhow, I'm gonna continue because now it's only 3 hours and 40 minutes about left. So I gotta step it up. I finished decorating this. I also found fast key or like short keys to change the speed. But yeah, I finished decorating this area, which I think is looking pretty cool. Finished over here. We got this kind of looking pretty interesting. I think the beams either made it easier or harder. I'm not really sure. Some jumps might be harder because of the beams, but I don't know. It is something though. It adds a little bit of a bit of an additional feeling. And then, more importantly, look at that, so pretty. Yes, I kind of finished this area. I sped up the downstairs grass bit by just making a custom grass brush. So yeah, it just places grass basically, right? I just needed something easy and fast to kind of finish up here. Then I also did like used the brush to create this tree, which turned out pretty good in my opinion. I made some changes to them because originally it had green leaves, so I changed the leaves for the willow ones, whatever these are, wind willow. And then I turned the entire area to like bluish to kind of create like this really cool contrast between the red and the blue in this area. I wanted to do signs, like I mentioned before, to kind of do some story elements, but I learned that that's not how you write. Somebody please help. Am I stupid? Do I not know how to write sign? There we go. Yeah, clearly I don't know. So anyhow, you cannot write on these yet. The functionality is not there. I even googled it. So no story for you guys. So instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and make a backup from this now. Play through it one time to kind of just see if it all works. And then include like the uploading it and maybe like putting it somewhere in the 1 hour time limit, right? So the full start to finish project from, you know, starting it going online took me 24 hours then. I think that's what I'm gonna go with and do. So I'll be working on that and I'll catch you probably in like the last 5 minutes or so to kind of give the last in-game update. Alright, cool, bye. With only 1 hour left, I quickly ran through the level and added some final details I missed. I then finally decided to look online trying to fix the last few issues I was having. I still wanted to prevent block breaking and get a checkpoint system that doesn't rely on bats. So I looked into some mods and found these. I'm not sure if you need to install them for the map to work, but I'll make sure to include the downloads links either way. Also, big shout out to the creators. I also tried looking for a mod to make signs work, but I couldn't really find any that I liked. Then I tried making the world load properly, which ended up taking longer than I thought. When I deleted the player data, it would spawn me back in the main creative hub, instead of the level. So, after spending like 30 minutes, I finally figured out that all I had to do was delete the other worlds and change the name of the folder from the flat world to default. I also forced the game mode back to adventure and activated the mods. With that, I only had a few more minutes left. Seems like eventually I got everything working just about in time. I have about 4 minutes left. I ran through the level once, which worked pretty well, I think. Not a lot of issues. I fixed some minor ones that I noticed. And hopefully I can make it to the end before that. So I'm just gonna run through it with you guys just very quickly, kind of show you what's up. I'm gonna try to take the shortcut route because it's technically just that much faster. Should be this. Yeah, there we go. Got it. Very nice. Can I cheese this? Maybe? I don't think I can. I don't think I can. No, I could not. Respawning works, so that's good. Come on, I got this. I got this. Nice. I am gonna go back for the checkpoint just to be safe. There you go. Easy does it. Look at me go. It's like I've done this before. Ooh. You can grab the top there if you get it right. But yeah, never lucky, I guess. How much time do I have left? 2 minutes 23. I think I can make this actually. If I do this area somewhat efficiently. I got stuck. That's not the route. I can't remember what I need to do. Oh no. I'm panicking. Okay, I got that one. That's nice. Got on here. Where can I go from here? Like this one is just... What am I hitting my head on? There's a ladder. Okay. This area is just made to be a bit... Oh my... Okay, well, that just happened. Jumping on these beams is actually quite hard. That's less than a minute left. Alright. Oh my god, I don't know how I managed to save that one. Alright, we got 40 seconds. I've actually practiced this last bit a fair bit. I'm doing tests. Oh my... Okay, well, I can't... Okay. I was just too low. I should have just died to begin with. Because I know the best route does cause you to take some damage. I cannot do that. 15. Alright, we're getting there, guys. 8 I don't think I'll make it. I don't know where the green pedals are from. I don't know how they got there, but okay. And time's up. I barely made it. Alright, we're gonna try and take the shortcut here. There we go. And end. I guess this is the end. That's what I considered. Alright, yeah, so as you can see, for the final area, sneaking does not work. I added like the glowing blue crystals there. I found them towards the end because I needed to light up the little cave section. I don't know what I'm doing. I also have no idea where the pedals came from. Did I jump on the... I think I jumped on the lily or something. Anyhow, yeah, I added those. I think it looks pretty bloody awesome. Also from like a distance, you get like the additional glow. Great look. Yeah, don't stand on the checkpoint for too long. It's gonna spam you. I don't know. Oh, yeah, you have to deal with that. It's it's a thing. All right. Anyhow, yes, that's it. Back to green screen me. I want to thank the channel members for their continued support of the channel. As a final message for this video, I just wanted to mention that any of my complaints or feedback are just based on my first impressions of the current game, not my final verdict of the actual quality of Hytale and its tools. I believe it has a bright future if they keep listening to the community feedback in the coming years, and I personally can't wait to see what it turns into. Once again, thank you so much for watching. You can find the download links to the map in the description below. Make sure to give it a try and feel free to do some speedrunning on it as well. If you enjoyed this video and haven't already, be sure to check out some of my other stuff. Okay, bye.